Why you shouldn't breed your hamster. Now, of course, without breeding, we wouldn't have any hamsters, so because of this, it's important not just anybody breeds. It's a little bit more complex than just taking a male and a female and putting them together and creating babies. It's not just something your average hamster owner should be doing. An ethical breeder is someone who breeds with the intentions of improving the species, whether that be through health or temperament. Irresponsible breeding would include trying to breed for the reasons of they just want cute babies, you want to breed because you want to make a profit, or you want to breed just because you want to see the miracle of life. There are many responsibilities an ethical breeder must maintain in order to be an ethical breeder. These would include knowledge and proper hamster care. Pregnant and nursing hamsters will require special care and a different diet than just your average hamster that you're keeping as a pet. They need to be able to properly understand a hamster's behaviors. They need to have the ability to deal with aggressive hamsters as well as nervous and skittish hamsters. They need to be able to properly scruff a hamster as well as check a hamster's teeth and clip nails. They also need to be able to administer any medications if necessary, as well as they also need to know how to care for any rejected or ill pups. And this isn't exactly an easy task. If a mother has rejected some pups are going to need feedings by hand very, very often. This means no sleep for you. Space. As you may know, hamsters need large enclosures. They need a lot of space to be happy and enriched. And this goes for if you're breeding as well. Every single one of your hamsters is going to need a properly sized enclosure, and you're probably going to need spares in case any of the pups you have need to be held back or they haven't found a home yet. Vet care. This is mandatory. Many pups or mothers may require seeing a vet for a vet visit. They may need any medications. They possibly may also need to go through surgeries. So having an exotic vet who knows about hamsters is really important. Money. You are going to be spending more money breeding hamsters than you will ever make back selling them. You'll need to have some sort of steady income so that you are able to purchase all of the necessities for your hamsters, including multiple accessories like hideouts and wheels, multiple enclosures, an abundance of food and bedding, as well as enough money for vet visits, and as you may know, these things can add up really fast. Knowledge in genetics and lineage. This is absolutely necessary, and without this knowledge, it would be selfish to go ahead and breed. So what are genetics? Genetics is what you inherit from your parents' genes, which contain DNA, and that then determines different traits, such as what hair color you're going to end up with, your eye color, how tall you're going to be, things like that. Hamsters already have poor genetics due to irresponsible and improper breeding done by pet mills. This has caused hamsters to more commonly live shorter lifespans as well as be more prone to genetic conditions and more diseases and illnesses. It doesn't matter if a hamster appears physically healthy, that does not tell you the type of genetics they carry. Without knowledge in hamster genetics, you can easily end up with an anophimalic hamster, also known as an eyeless white hamster. This occurs when two hamsters carry the white belly gene, are then bred together, and then they produce offspring that is often eyeless or have poorly formed eyes. They are often deaf, they are fully white, and they can have other complications. Gerald here is an anaphylactic white Syrian hamster. He was adopted from a pet store from one of my followers. They have to take care of him particularly different because he is blind and also deaf. So this makes life for Gerald a little bit harder than your average hamster. Most hamsters already do have poor vision, but when you are fully blind and also deaf, life can be very hard to adapt to. Gerald can easily be spooked, and he tends to take his time around places. He doesn't zoom across a bed because he can easily fall off, so he is very cautious with when he does things. It's also very easy for him to get spooked because when you can't hear and you can't see, it's almost impossible to not get spooked when somebody touches you or something bumps into you. Though, of course, anaphylactic white hamsters can live normal lives. Now, hamsters who carry the white belly gene are going to have a white belly, hence the name. But here's the catch. Not every hamster with a white belly is going to carry the white belly gene. So unless the hamster has a lineage or pedigree, there is no way to tell if the hamster carries the white belly gene. Therefore, 2 hamsters with white bellies should not be bred. It makes sense that eyeless white hamsters would be more commonly found in pet shops because this goes to show their lack of care or knowledge in breeding. They just take any male and any female and they put them together regardless of their history or genetics. Hairless hamsters. This is a genetic mutation causing the hamster to be completely hairless. This is something that is very unethical to purposely try and breed, and if you ever come across a breeder who is breeding hairless hamsters, steer clear of them. Hairless hamsters often have shorter lifespans than your average hamster and also have other issues such as having no whiskers or very, very curled whiskers. And as you may know, animals rely heavily on their whiskers, especially ones who have pretty poor eyesight. So to not have whiskers, it can be a pretty difficult life. Hairless hamsters also cannot have the same type of enrichment as a regular hamster would. Since a hairless hamster has no hair, you have to avoid sharp and irritating things like any type of substrate that is like shavings or anything that's super rough. No sand baths because those would be quite rough on just bare skin, as well as nothing really pokey. You would avoid things like grapevine wood and cork logs because they can be very scratchy. They could very easily scratch bare skin or cause an irritation of some sort, and you don't want that. Hairless hamsters also cannot regulate their body temperature because they do not have hair. Hair is very important. For dwarfs such as Campbell's or winter whites, breeding 2 from the pet store is completely unacceptable. Unfortunately, these 2 species are the only 2 hamster species that can interbreed with each other. And unfortunately, somebody went ahead and did this, and we now have hybrids. Hybrids have many issues because they were never meant to be bred with each other. Hybrids are found to have more issues with aggression, as well as they are way more prone to diabetes, and they can have a lot of neurological issues. Most pet stores you go to are more than likely going to have hybrids, whether or not it's labeled as a winter white hamster or a Campbell's hamster. If you buy 2 winter whites that are labeled winter whites, I can almost guarantee you they are hybrids. This is due to improper breeding, and it is almost impossible to tell if you purchase a winter white hamster whether or not it is purebred or a hybrid. So this is why you should not breed 2 dwarfs from the pet store. This is why, just in general, you should not try to breed 2 pet store hamsters because you do not know their genetics or their history. A hamster's lineage is also important. Lineage means the members of someone's family who lived long before them, and it's similar to like a family tree. So it can date back to your past family members, and it can tell you if they had any genetic issues or anything like that. So if a hamster has a genetic condition such as heart disease, it would make sense to not breed them to prevent passing that condition down. When things like this are acknowledged and followed, we end up with healthier hamsters and possibly longer living hamsters. There also is the emotional side of breeding. Even the most professional, well-prepared, ethical breeders still will have issues and still will have hamsters pass. Don't forget, when breeding animals, you are putting animals at risk of passing away because giving birth isn't always an easy task to accomplish, and there can be complications during birth which can cause immediate death. And this is why not just anybody should go ahead and breed their hamster without actually being able to follow all of the things mentioned in this video. If you truly want to breed for the ethical reasons, then I would suggest mentoring under a already experienced ethical hamster breeder. So hopefully this video has been able to help anybody who was considering breeding to maybe make the decision to not and just enjoy the hamsters that you have. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!